So, good Sunday afternoon. I am just taking a walk through the garden and thought I'd take a look at a few things. I have irrigation running, so I came down to see if everything's ready to be shut off, if everything got enough water. So these are my peas. Going to be the first, outside of lettuce and spinach, the first real thing to come on in the garden. And I am so excited. Let's see if I can get this in the frame. Look at the little pink flowers. I've never had those before. Who knows where they came from. And we're going to pan over here to carrots and some leaf cabbage. Still pretty little yet, but they're doing okay. A little bit poor germination, but parsnips with even worse germination, or I overweeded. Could be. Next is beets. There are white beets and yellow beets. I don't have any red beets. They're not my favorite thing. And turnips. Look how huge these turnip bushes are. Like, they're not even just turnip plants, they're huge bushes. And then something I have never grown before in this little tiny corner is a weed, apparently. But kohlrabi. I've never even seen it grown before. I've never eaten it. So it was a free seed. I put it in. We'll see what we get. Okay. Right behind the beets and turnips are cilantro. Right next to it you see a new row of radishes coming up. My spinach. This is first round of spinach down in the garden. I had it on the deck much earlier. So I've been eating on this for about a week, and it's bolting now when it's 90 degrees. My existing radishes, and I just picked a couple for dinner, and then a few kinds of lettuce. I really like these little speckled lettuces, and then red romaine. All right, the next thing to show you is these are San Marzano paste tomatoes. I have 4 of them down here. And I am super excited about these because look at the size of my stalks. They're huge. And that is growing them inside for months with a fan and getting them out, up-potting them multiple times, and then planting them deep out here. So I have my first flowers on. Pretty cool. I intercropped with marigolds all through here and some basil. This is a Kellogg's breakfast tomato, kind of the same deal. Nice big hardy stalks. They're doing well. I am not pruning these as tightly as I could just because our growing season is pretty short here. This is a tomato that is a San Marzano, and it was killed back completely on the deck in a kind of a late season frost. And look at how it has come back. It didn't have a leaf on it. I stuck it in here just in case. And then tomatillos. I have never grown them before. I don't know a thing. I love to eat them, but I've never grown them. And they're doing pretty well. I started these from seed. Some of the little basil's coming up. But some of these tomatillos are just tiny, and look at them with the flowers on. How cool is that? And then I ended each side of this bed with a zinnia near the posts. And I spray painted these T-posts because I needed something cute in my life. Quick turnaround to give you a shot at these little speckled leaf lettuces. They're so cute. And it's a lot of lettuce. Salad for dinner, that's what I'm thinking. Wow, look at this guy in here. Huge radish. Glad those new ones are going. What I might do is roast a couple of these. So coming around past the peas now. These are dry beans with my funky windfall storm damage posts. So I have these kind of cool tripods here. And then I planted in a big circle all the way around. These are Good Mother Stallard. And kind of I filled in some gaps with a pink dry bean. We'll see how those do. These should all be good mother stallard and weeds. This is one of my next beds. But I am super happy with this soaker tubing, this porous kind of foam looking tubing. It's done a really good job wrapped around these hills. And last, these are kind of a hybrid between Blue Lake and Kentucky Wonder. These are Kentucky Blue pole beans. And I'm going to come down, weed this bed up, and fill in the empty spots and get some trellis netting on here. But look what my goats have done to these posts before I got them in here. So kind of cool. These kind of little kitschy teepees that I built out of windfall damage. I was going to go buy posts, and I thought, I should use what I have. So in between my rows, you see this tan. This is all, I'm just going to pan back a little bit. This is all goat bedding as I clean out the goat stalls. I bring it down here and lay it in between. So all the manure is getting some time, even though it's considered a green manure. It's going to compost in over time. These are all onions. First crop of onions that I put in, they're doing okay. They're not fantastic. But this crop is doing a lot better. I have some purple kale. Was kind of a freebie seed. Very sad. I was given a little Anaheim pepper, and it's right here. Little stick. Something, a bird or something came in and ate it right off of there. And then a bush cucumber. And we head over into chives, or I'm sorry, not chives, leeks. They need to be weeded and mulched pretty badly. And my garlic, and I have garlic scapes. Never even seen, I've bought them at the farmer's market, but those curly cues at the top of the garlic greens are scapes, and I can cut those off and stir fry them. Matter of fact, I might take a couple of them up to the house with me. This is a Monica cucumber. We'll see how it does. Every cucumber I have put in the garden this year has died. Then I am space sharing my garden, and this area down here, these onions, that space, there's carrots underneath that board, tomatoes and such are my neighbors. And we head into my squash plants. I'm just going to back out a little bit here. There's another really sad item that has been doing super well, and all of a sudden I come down here and it's just a wilted mess. So many things have died in these hills that it is crazy. So of the squashes I should have delicata, honey nut, acorn, and one other, red curry. And I know the red curry's down here. It's over there, right farthest away from the camera. I had to replant it, restart it up at the house and bring it down, and it's doing okay. That's a zucchini. And that little empty spot over there, that's a cucamelon. It's the tiniest little plant ever. And I have 6 little cabbages along here, and a second crop of carrots that is just coming up and getting going. And there's some weeds in there too, I'm sure, but I just uncovered them today. I had boards over them, and we'll see how they do. This is my second planting at watermelon, and as you can see, it's not looking real good for me here. A close-up on my cucamelon. It's like a little miniature me. It's still alive. I can't believe it's still alive. I bought it as a start. Gave away 2 of them that are doing great. I had one die, and I have this one here that is trying, but not really getting anywhere. All right, this whole bed, you can see I've just weeded 1/4 of it. I got this end closest to the camera where I've weeded was planted a couple weeks in advance. I ran out of seeds right away, had to order more, and so these are all black beans, black turtle beans for storing for winter. I've never grown them before. It's a bush type bean, but I'm hoping to get them weeded up this week and get some mulch down on this bed, and looking forward to seeing what they do. And next to that is celery. Never grown celery before. They are pretty darn happy. I'll have to blanch these by piling up some mulch around them to stop them from getting too green and hard. But I'm pretty excited about them. They look pretty good. Next is some flowers and broccoli at the end. And there is a space. I have a pink and green cabbage to bring down that's still up at the house. I'm going to pop this little broccoli out and bring that cabbage down here and get it in the ground. So one quick pan of the whole garden. So that's the kohlrabi, turnips, beets, parsnips in the way out, carrots, my lettuce bed with spinach and radishes, peas in the distance, my pole bean teepees, a little easier to see when I'm back here, with those tomatoes and tomatillos, the kale and my onions and my garlic inside that pink string, and my squash bed with my cabbages and new carrot bed behind. So that's the whole place. I like to come down here and sit and just sort of admire my work and do some work and hang out for a little bit. But today's not it. It is super hot out here. And what's a day at the farm without a little shot of the goats? That is Birdie and her daughters, Bella on my left and Becky on the right. And then hanging out by the gate, as always, hoping there's a cracker, is Daisy and her daughter back behind her in the tree. You only see her butt, Delilah. Okay, so the sun's going to be a little bright up here, but inside the Premier One fencing on my driveway, this is all peppers. There's a couple bell peppers closest to the camera, and farther away, those are all not jalapenos. So jalapenos without heat. These are some very sad looking little sweet potatoes. Maybe they'll make it, maybe they won't. And then 3 in a row, I have tomatoes with a pepper in the front. And these are all Kellogg's breakfast tomatoes and bell peppers. The next 3 are San Marzano tomatoes and bell peppers, and I have intercropped them with marigolds and a couple kinds of basil. So I have purple basil, Greek basil, and sweet basil. So I try not to fall. And then this is Huckleberry Gold potatoes, so purple skinned, yellow meated potato. And then those are Yukon Gold and Cooper. And in the distance down there, you can see I have 6 of those grow bags. Each one has 2 peppers in it, so that's all my jalapenos, 1 Anaheim, 1 poblano, and a couple more bell peppers. And I have 3 of these little pots with my cherry tomatoes that are doing great. They have flowers. Several of my bell peppers have peppers on, so kind of cool. Right, that is the tour of my garden today. We won't cover blueberries and raspberries because they are a hot mess. The goats have gone in there and trimmed them down to nothing. But this is all along my driveway. So I have 9 big pots up here, plus that potato bag, so 10. 6 pots and 6 fabric bags and 3 pots down at the next level. So hopefully we'll get some good tomatoes out of this. I've never had an orange slicing tomato, but those Kellogg's breakfast look amazing from what I've seen. All right, take care.